Hey you guys, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new. Today I'm going to show you guys how I achieve my blowout. I do have a video like this posted. I posted it about 2 years ago, but the blowout is super popular right now, so I thought I would make a new video showing you guys how I do it. I think this one is a lot more beginner friendly and easy to follow. So yeah, we're going to go ahead and get started. So we're going to start with prepping the hair. I like to start with my hair anywhere from 50 to 70% dry. This really just depends on the texture of your hair. I'm going to go ahead and insert a photo of my natural hair texture somewhere here so you guys can see. The straighter your hair is naturally, the more dry you can start the blowout. And the curlier your hair is, you're going to want to start with your hair more wet. This is because if your hair is curly, you don't want your curl to set. You want it to be wet enough to where your curl isn't setting. Next, we're going to get into product. Product is super important, you guys. Product is going to protect your hair from the heat. It's going to give you moisture, shine, and it's going to give you some slip, which is super helpful because when your hair is more slippery, it'll be easier for you to get the hair through the brush without it getting tangled. So let's not make this harder than it needs to be. Just use some product. So the products we're going to be using today are these two. These are my absolute favorite products. This is R&Co's High Dive Moisture and Shine Cream, and this is Kenra's Blowout Spray. This is a cream, this is a spray. I will use both of them, and it's like a dream combination. I love them. They both smell delicious. Remember that you want your blowout to last, so you don't want to use a ton of product because that will make your hair feel heavy and gross and maybe like oily. So yeah, just be mindful of how much product you're using. I only use a very little bit. A little bit goes a long way. And I put both of these products into my hand, mix them together, and I'm just going to work it through my mids and ends. So I'm just working this product through my mids and ends, and anything that I have left over on my hands, which is really like nothing, I will go ahead and just put that on my roots, especially on my blonde piece in the front here, because that piece usually gets a little bit more fried. So I like to add product so it protects it against the heat. Alright guys, so I just sectioned my hair. I will say I don't typically section my hair like this. I've been doing my blowout for years, so I don't really even section it like a specific way. But if you're starting out, this is a really easy way of sectioning your hair and keeping it clean so you don't get lost in all your hair, and it just makes it really easy. So the back is basically one whole section, and then the mohawk area is a separate section, and then you got the two sections on the side. People tell me that they get really tired like midway through their blowout, so it made me think, like, why spend time on the back? Let's just focus on the front, because if the front looks good, your whole blowout looks good. So there's really no point in like putting so much work and effort into the back if really it's the front that matters. So that's what we're gonna do today. We're gonna make the front look amazing, and then the back will just look amazing because the front looks amazing. So yeah, that's a really good tip. If you get really tired and it's a lot of work for you, do the front. Don't even worry about the back. The back will take care of itself. But if the front looks good, the back looks good. So also, I do want to mention that when you are sectioning, you want your sections to be very clean. That way you don't get lost when you're blow drying and doing all this and your arms are in the way. It's very easy to like tug on other sections or accidentally dry other sections if you're not sectioning very clean. Also, I would section in buns. So as you can see, all my hair is tucked away, and this is going to keep that section wet, because if I were to leave the section like this when I'm not working on it and I'm blow drying another section, this will start to dry, and I don't want it to dry. I need it to stay wet. If you have a spray bottle like this, that works, but it's extra work. So it is better to just keep your hair in somewhat of like a bun or bunched up. That way it stays wet until you get to that section. Okay, so next we're going to get into tools. Today I'm going to be using the Bellamy blow dryer. This is my favorite blow dryer. I've used many blow dryers. I used to do hair professionally. This is by far my favorite. I don't know why more people don't talk about it. Besides the point, the nozzle is super important. If you have the nozzle, I definitely suggest using the nozzle because it's really going to concentrate all that air to go to one specific area, which will speed up your blow dry time. You can definitely do the blowout without the nozzle, but again, the air will kind of blow everywhere, which can kind of start blowing into other sections, and it's not just as like precise, I guess you can say. So yeah, if you have the nozzle, use it. If you don't, no big deal. Okay, next we're going to talk about round brushes. So I'm going to be using this one. I love this brush. I've been using it for years, ever since they gifted it to me in beauty school. It's my absolute favorite brush. I will not use any other brush. So when it comes to sizing, you definitely want a brush that's more of a medium size to large brush. You don't want to use something like this. This is super tiny. This is going to create more of a curl versus volume. We want something like this. Also, you guys, make sure you're using a round brush. You want it to be for blow drying your hair, or else it's going to be a mess, okay? Just trust me. Hey guys, so I wanted to share a tip with you guys I learned when I was learning how to blow dry my hair, just like this. So I'm going to show you guys right now. Okay, so first you want to make sure you have a good brush, just like this one, and make sure it has really good grips, just like this. So all you're going to want to do is hold your brush and twist, twist, twist. And you're going to want to keep doing this. You can watch TV, be on your phone, but this is just going to help create like muscle memory. So then when you guys are actually doing your blowout, it is a lot easier and you have more control of your brush. So we're going to go ahead and get started. So I'm going to start with this section here, and I'm just going to grab a section about that big. And then again, I'm going to kind of just put this hair up into a bunch. That way it doesn't dry out on me. So a really good rule is you never want your section to be bigger than your round brush, if that makes sense. So as you can see, my round brush is still bigger than my section, because if you have too much hair in the brush, it's all going to fall out and it's just going to make your job a lot harder. You don't have to grab like really tiny sections like this either, because then you'll never finish. But just make sure you can easily get it through the brush and it's not like falling out. Alright guys, so now we're going to get into it finally. So first we're just going to smooth out the section. We're not going to get fancy. We're not going to worry about twisting the brush, rolling it up, and doing all that stuff. We're just going to smooth it out. I feel like when a lot of people start, they see other people doing all these twists and they think they have to do it too, which you do, don't get me wrong, but not right away. So I feel like the easiest way to do it is to just smooth out that section first, because making sure your hair is smooth is the most important part of the blowout, and then we're going to add volume afterwards. So don't even worry about all that. Smoothing it out first is easy, and then adding volume afterwards makes it a lot easier. So we're going to do that. Okay, so obviously my blow dryer is loud, so I'm going to kind of just show you how I would do it with my blow dryer off. So I'm grabbing my brush, I'm starting here, and we're just going to smooth it out. You can twist your brush a little bit as you're going down, but we're not rolling it, we're not doing anything crazy, you're just smoothing it out, smoothing it out, smoothing it out. And you're going to want to do this until it's mostly dry and it's smooth. You're not going to want to see any frizz or anything like that. So yeah, I'm going to go ahead and do that step, and then we'll come back. Okay, so I just smoothed down my section, and that's what it looks like. It naturally has a little bit of a bend to it because of the brush being round, but as you can see, it doesn't really have like a lot of volume or anything like that. So now that it's smooth and dry, now we can work on really adding volume. Okay guys, so when it comes to adding volume to the section, there's really no specific way you have to do this. I might start here, kind of go down, and then roll up. Or I might just keep twisting my brush as I go through. As you can see, I just keep twisting, twisting, twisting. And then I might just twist out. When it comes to twisting out, it should never be that hard to twist your hair out. If it is, you might have too much hair in your section, or your hair might be too wet, which means you should go back to smoothing it out, and then it'll be easier to twist it out afterwards because it's more dry. Once I'm done with my section, I'm going to keep my hair in there just like this, kind of like as if you were curling your hair. I'm going to hit it with the blow dryer for a few seconds so it can heat up and really set. Turn my blow dryer off. I'll let it cool down, so then it's like really setting, and then I will kind of just twist it out. And then I'll use my opposite hand to smooth that section out, because our hands have a little bit of that product that we used at the beginning, and our hands just have natural oils to begin with. So those oils are really going to smooth out that hair, and it's going to give you a really pretty result. Okay, also you guys, when it comes to the twisting, you don't have to twist so many times. So let's say I'm hitting my section right, I'm ready to take the brush out. I'm just going to twist once and out, use my opposite hand, smooth the section. You don't have to twist it like so many times like this, because then that might be really hard to get out and it might tangle on you. It's unnecessary. You really need to only twist maybe once or twice, and that's going to be the easiest way to get it out. Okay, so now I'm going to add volume to the section, so I'm going to speed it up and then I'll be right back. Okay guys, so I just added volume to this section. As you can see, it looks a lot more bouncier. It almost has like one big curl, which I love. So I'm just going to repeat that process all throughout the rest of these two sections, and then I will get back to you guys when I'm at the Mohawk section. I just finished my side pieces. It looks a little crazy. So I did want to mention that when you're taking this section out, you don't want to like brush through it or anything. You pretty much just want to take that section out of your brush and leave it as it is. Don't mess with it. That way it'll set. Now we're going to blow dry the Mohawk section. The Mohawk section is exactly the same. You're still going to smooth, add volume, use the opposite hand to smooth it out. The only difference is that you're going to be blow drying like up and out that way instead of this way. So yeah, I'm going to follow the exact same steps. I am going to start from the back. You're going to want to leave your bangs for very last. But yeah, this ends up being about 3 to 4 sections for me. I don't have a ton of hair. It's not super thick. Depending on how much hair you have, that can change. Again, don't overwhelm yourself, especially with the top. The top is very important. So make sure you're able to handle it. Make sure it's not too much. Because we want this to be the best section, okay? Make sure you're putting your absolute best work into the Mohawk section. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and start, and then I will get back to you guys once I'm at the bang section. Alright guys, so I pretty much did all of the Mohawk section. I'm only left with this small little bang area here in the front. I did want to talk to you guys about this section specifically because I want to mention that I do lower the heat. I have a highlight here that has been bleached obviously, so it's more damaged. It is more prone to breaking. That hair is also baby hair, so even if it wasn't bleached, it's just more prone to breaking. It's softer, it's more fragile, so you definitely want to lower that heat. That way you don't contribute to any breaking and you don't fry any pieces off. So yeah, I just want to let you guys know that really quick, but I'm gonna go ahead and finish this piece and then we'll move on to the back. Okay you guys, so I like to leave the brush in this specific section in for a while because I want the most volume I can possibly get. So it has been a few seconds now, maybe like a whole minute, and I'm going to pull it out slowly. Remember, you're going to use your opposite hand to smooth it out. I'm kind of twisting my brush out and I'm smoothing. Okay, so it looks so good. Like, it's almost too much volume, but it's fine. Alright guys, so we pretty much finished all of the hard part. It looks really good. It looks big and bouncy, and when we do the back, it's all just gonna look really pretty. I'm still gonna try, obviously, to make the back look nice, but you don't have to worry about getting every single piece to look just like this, because the front is really just gonna tie it all together. We're gonna go ahead and start with the back. Before we do though, I'm gonna take those clips and I'm gonna kind of clip this hair away so it's not in my way and I can see what I'm doing as I'm blow drying the back. It doesn't have to be anything crazy, just kind of get it out of your way so you don't get lost in all the hair. So I kind of just do something like that. And then with the back, the sectioning doesn't have to be super specific. I'm just gonna kind of work my way up, so I might just have that be a section and then keep adding to it, work my way up until I'm all the way done. Okay, you guys, we are done with our blowout. Well, almost. We have a few finishing touches, but this is pretty much what it looks like. It is a little frizzy, don't worry about that. So at this point, what I would do is if I see anything that looks kind of weird, you can go ahead and just kind of redo that section. You can also marry a few sections together, so like if it looks very split up, like it's obvious where you parted your hair, you can go ahead and grab just like a bigger section, just like this, and kind of just go through that. So I like to use the It's a 10 Miracle Oil plus Keratin. This is my favorite one, and you're only gonna want to use like a drop, very little bit. I like to really work it in my hands, like to where you can't even see it, because again, you guys, you don't want to get your hair full of product. It's just going to make it look oily and dirty. And then I'll kind of just go through the mids and ends again really quick. And whatever I have left on my hands, I will kind of work through the top, just like that. And as you can see, it just adds a little bit of shine, gets rid of the flyaways. Now that I finished getting the oil through my hair and it looks shiny, I'm going to take the Co's Pomade Stick. It is so cute. It's like a little tiny deodorant. And this is going to help with flyaways. So I don't really have a part when I do my blowout, but it mostly kind of goes this way if I had to pick one. And as you can see, there are flyaways, so I'll kind of just take the stick and just kind of hit those pieces in the very front. Anything that looks crazy. Again, you don't want to use a ton of product because then it's going to make your hair look oily and then your blowout won't last as long. But I don't want my hair to look frizzy, so I'll just hit those little pieces barely. And it makes a really huge difference. I'll even kind of get it in my fingers and get these little baby hairs here that tend to stick up. Alright guys, this is the final result. I think it looks super pretty. I'm very happy with it. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope it helps somebody. If you guys have any questions or comments, leave them down below and I'd love to respond to them. Also, I'll be leaving all the products that I use down in the description. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate it, and I'll see you guys next time.